guys, we're back. Did you miss us? Because we missed you.
Rules?
There are no rules.
What rules?
This is a revolution, damn it!
You'll hear things you've never heard before.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
Who are those guys?
And then there's the other guys.
We're the other guys. We're the guys nobody ever bets on.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
It's time for the Other Alliance Guys podcast with your hosts, Tim, Dave, and Jeremy.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and what can we tell you as Jeremy jumps into the screen here somehow? I get you on. There he is.
There he is.
The Other Alliance Guys, a presentation of alliance-wrestling.com. Your number one, oh, that's over here. Jesus. Number one source for news and information for the National Wrestling Alliance. Total non-stop action. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, various independents around the world. My name's Tim. I got this cool Alliance North t-shirt that the boss gave me. So,
nice.
Such a nice guy. And I am joined by my visually absent brother-in-law, Dave Scooby. How are you, sir?
Doing well. It's been a couple weeks. Glad to be back on the air.
Yeah, I agree. And he'd be late to his own funeral. Total nonstop Jeremy. How are you, sir?
Fucking, I've got a whole bunch on my computer that I apparently need to update.
Oh, really? They're like, yeah, just hang on for an hour and a half. We'll be as we update. One of those?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Good to see you guys. It's been a while.
Good to see you guys too.
We had Canadian Thanksgiving, and then whatever the AWS went down last week, and that supports this platform. The stupid platform that we're forced to use.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Steve G is here. Hey, Steve. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see everybody who shows up for this. Hey, the Jays are playing tonight. World Series, guys.
Yep.
Taking on those dastardly Dodgers from the great city of Los Angeles.
Go Toronto.
Well, you know, your president, all politics aside, said that Major League Baseball is corrupt. He said yesterday or today. Neither team are welcome at the Night House, and he thinks the mafia runs the whole thing.
He's a yam-titted cockwomble.
What are you gonna do? What will we talk about today? I got a few little Alliance North things to go over. I got the T-shirt. I thought, well, I better put some work in. You know, pull my weight a little bit around here, and we're going to talk about. Well, we'll go. We're 2 weeks late, but I think it was only like October 17th for Sawin Part 3.
Yeah.
We'll just go through the results. We'll get your guys' thoughts on that. And we'll talk about what appears to be the swerve of the week and Vince Russo not coming to the National Wrestling Alliance, bro.
Thank God, bro.
And Jeremy, you got some.
A state of the TNA after Bound for Glory.
State of the TNA.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Some interesting things happen there, and I see some interesting things coming on the horizon. Hopefully, so talk a little bit about that.
Excellent. Cool. Excellent. If I could, so my laptop, I have one laptop, and it's a work laptop, and it's really, really good. But my company, well, I won't name, they're a pretty big company. They occasionally don't want me to have fun. Like I can't see alliance-wrestling.com on my work laptop. It's been blocked as, taking away too much work time for me, I guess. So I'm running this off of my Chromebook right now.
Yeah. My work did that with TNA Plus. But and they did it with YouTube as well. But then one of our marketing guys loves to show everybody his commercials that he does for us.
Yeah.
So he's like, I can't show anybody, so they unblocked YouTube, so I can still watch wrestling.
Yeah, we still have YouTube. Somebody at head office likes YouTube right now. So we have, even up here in Canada, you have a work phone, and a friend of mine said, look at this thing on TikTok. And I downloaded TikTok because I really don't have a lot of social media. And my phone stopped working. I couldn't log in. They kept kicking me out. And I found out, I work for a US-based company, no TikTok at the time, and apparently not anymore either. So I don't know, man. I guess I got to pay for my own devices if I want to be involved in some of this stuff. Okay. Let me roll through just very quickly. There's a thing where we get to put up these really cool videos that announce our little segments, and we can't do it because they're full right now. Like, I don't know if I have to, like, if we have to upgrade the site or something, but imagine this really cool Alliance North video with the logo and, take off and it was really very good. But a few things happening right now let me move this here. I assume this works the same way. It does. In the great city of Toronto, it's happening tonight. The doors have already opened. The show has already started. This is Arena Rumble that MLP is doing. They've done a couple of small little shows in a row. This one celebrates a corporation that supports people with mental and physical disabilities in Toronto. It's got Matt Hardy. It's got Colt Cabana. As you can see, that's Rohan Raja holding up one of the belts. Giselle Shaw, your Canadian Women's Champion. Microman, you got Microman. So I don't see anything else on the horizon right now for MLP and checking out their website. This one's been up for a little while, but if it's anything like the last event they did on the First Nations Reserve, it had SLE quality, TV on Triller the following week, and I really enjoyed it. So look out for that one as it comes. I have to mention to a show that has start introducing you guys to Greektown. Greektown is an area in Toronto I had the privilege of living in, and they have a very active independent scene around Greektown Pro Wrestling. You can see Channing Decker, he's the owner and promoter. Good guy, doesn't throw himself over, good athlete. He and Tommy Dreamer with taking on Janela and whoever the heck that is. But some of the names they pulled in locally, Bill Collier, he used to have the Greektown Cup. He's an amazing athlete. He's a bit older now. I wish he had more exposure to the independent scene across, beyond the independents. He would have been good. And Sam Holloway's rising star, but you can see Jody Surratt, hometown man, is getting some play these days. Madman Pondo, Allison Kay, your former NWA Women's World Champion, and others. And I'm going to start. My daughter and I have been to a couple of these events. They're really fun. If you're ever in the Toronto area, they run about every 45 to 60 days. Cool. I'm going to freak you guys out in a second. After this one, as part of this one here, this is in Laval, Ontario, too far for me to go to. And I threw it up because they have Richard Holiday on the card, and I think that that's a pretty good find for a very, very active independent company, New Champions. They're called New Champions Group, and I'm sure most of the. Oops, let me just put my phone down there. Most of them are very indie and local. However, good show. What's freaking me out is this guy right here. Does this guy not look like Slice Boogie? Is this not Slice Boogie with a wig? That's the Slice Boogie. Am I wrong? Who the hell's Zico? You're Slice Boogie. Telling you. And then finally, the one that I think Jay wants me to cover, they just don't come east enough for me. Look at the activity that these guys have nonstop in CWE. 18,000 members in their Facebook group. They are going seemingly every night of the week. And it's been this way since I started following in like August. They're all through Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. Those are the western provinces of Canada. I have seen them come as far as Ontario here. They have some of the bigger names, but they have this. This is my last thing to show. It's almost worth the trip to Winnipeg. This is the Super Jobber Cup. So what they do, right, is they take the worst 8 wrestlers in their promotion, and they put them in a one-night 8-man tournament. And if you lose in your match, you have to advance. If you win, you're out. You do not want to be the worst wrestler in all of CWE. And I don't know why this makes me laugh so hard, but like if you lose, you advance to the next round. And then it goes, 8 to 4 to 2 until there's one guy left trying desperately not to lose to become the worst wrestler in all of CWE. You got to give them credit. They have 18,000 followers on Facebook. I mean, for an independent, that's amazing, and it's a unique step.
Yeah, that's really good.
So anyway, just a taste of what I hope to go to more shows and get some more Canadian content up here. But these are some of the organizations I'm going to be looking at in the days ahead. I do want to talk about the results from October 17th in the National Wrestling Alliance in Atlanta, Georgia for Saw-Win Part 3. And I know that we are 10 days behind this right now. And but hey, listen, we were off for 2 weeks for Canadian Thanksgiving and technical difficulties last week. And we're also on a show that watches the NWA right now. Hey, Noob, good to see you. But with that roster changing, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? And we all come from in the alliance. We're NWA centric. We try to be supportive, but at the same time, we don't love what we have been seeing in the past few years. So I'm going to get your opinions, guys, on some of these results, courtesy of alliance-wrestling.com and Chris Henry, also for some context to be thrown into those results, and pulling them from the SmackDownHotel.com. And if I can find out who wrote this, because I want to give the credit, I will see it right now, but credit to them as a site anyway. We've had guys just thinking about the roster and in the NWA and how they've added on some really pretty decent talent, and even if they're part-timers like Matt Cardona, the Good Brothers, and Shotzi Blackheart, and all that stuff, all who appeared on this card. to which I'm told they had about 500 tickets distributed for Saw Win. The opening match, Hollywood Haley J. Dave defeats Serena Vale. Serena Vale is local to, I want to say, Crossfire, in the NWA. But Hollywood Haley J was big when we were reviewing wrestlers a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I kind of wonder, is she going to draw anybody into Solid? I'd want to see her. Don't get me wrong. I'd like to see her wrestle and see how she does. But do you think this was a good hire for an opening match for this SLE, I guess they call it?
Well, I do know her mother helps run part of the backstage as a producer / agent, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, she has her place. She has her followers. She has people that do like what she does. She lives her gimmick.
Yeah.
It's not far from the truth. It's basically, it's her up to notch. But I mean, she can wrestle. She has a name that people have heard of, not only if they use her right. It's just finding a place for her. Her and Kenzie are almost birds of a feather. So they just need to make sure that they aren't either in the same area or same storyline.
Very similar characters. Yeah.
Because their characters are so similar, or this is a chance for them to push them both and have a turn, and Kenzie becomes a goody two-shoes, or she becomes a face. It doesn't mean that she has to be bad. She can basically take the Stone Cold route and be a face that is against authority.
Right.
But it's one of these things.
Yeah.
I mean, Haley J is a good wrestler. Just decide what you're going to use her for and use it to your advantage.
Yeah, I agree.
She's wrestled in OVW. She's wrestled in WOW. People do know who she is. It's just they haven't given her a good storyline in the NWA yet. She's just in the NWA wrestling. So if they give her a good storyline, hopefully it can attract some viewers.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. And again, we're not actively watching too much either, just peripherally at best. But yeah, I still think she's a bit of an to open the card with. But Jeremy, the Good Brothers are journeyman indie wrestlers as well. They're all over the place. They've been everywhere and kind of done everything, and are sort of on their way through the indie ranks now. And they faced off and defeated Jack Vaughn and Dalton McKenzie the hard way. I like each team as I really like. It's funny, out of all of them, I really like Vaughn the best. But it seemed like a decent tag team match. What do you think of the pairing?
I like the Good Brothers a lot. They are another one that kind of live the gimmick. They are Good Brothers. You know, you throw them in the ring, you give them a good payday, they're gonna give you a good match.
Yeah.
And then you got Jack Vaughn, and I can't remember his tag team partner's name, but I've seen them a couple of times, and I'm right there with you with Jack Vaughn. He's my favorite of them.
Yeah.
But that's like I said, I've seen that tag team, and that's a good matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you've got someone that's a ring technician in gentleman Jack Vaughn, very astute and old school, damn near shoot almost style. He very snug. And then his partner's no slouch in that area.
Right.
And then, like I said, the Good Brothers, they always put on a good match.
They do. Yeah, they're fun. I don't know if she's wrestling in ROW. I wouldn't be surprised. I believe.
I saw her get. I know. I saw a clip of her get slapped the fuck out.
Oh yeah, she in what, Power Slap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She went down like a wet noodle.
Who, Haley did?
Yeah.
I thought she won her first Power Slap match. No way.
The one I saw, she got slapped
shit.
and was done.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we should. You know what we should do? We should review a Power Slap episode someday. I feel like it's the dumbest thing of all time, and when the clips come on, I don't turn them off right away.
It's like a car wreck.
Yeah.
For me, I'll try not to watch, and then it's like I'll scroll back to it. It's like let's see what's gonna happen. It is interesting.
I'm skip over a few just here. Matt Cardona defeats Daisy Kill in a match, and that's important because Cardona comes back later in this event. Kerry Morton defeats Damian Fenrir, and Mims defeats, I believe, El Dragon Nihan. So then there's a casket match, a 6-man tag team casket match. It's kind of where you're going to lose me if I'm sitting there in the stands. But the Lost, who would be Misery and Lev and Eggs, defeat Aaron Stevens, Carson Drake, and their partner, I believe, is Lockjaw, who I'm not familiar with. I mean, it's nice to see, Dave, that the Lost gets a bit of, get the win over.
Oh yeah.
Over Aaron and crew.
Definitely. I mean, they do have some talent. They need to push them up the ladder, especially with the U.S. tag titles being out there. I mean, if those guys can go, I know Alex Misery can go. Gags can go, just don't like the gimmick. Haven't seen Lev wrestle that much. I really enjoyed when they had Crazy Steve be part of the Lost, whether he is or not. They have some younger guys that can wrestle. Let them wrestle. And I mean, that the U.S. tag belts should be for your lower tier tag wrestlers, but also for out on the territories. And when you bring these guys from the territories, have them go back to where they came from to show off that, hey, I've made it up the ladder. I'm now in the NWA, but I'm willing to come back home either to defend the belts or go after the belts if belts are back in the home territories. So that's one of those things that you could get a lot of the lower tier belts, even though they are NWA belts, put them out on the territories.
Yeah.
To get some exposure and also get people out on the territories ready for the NWA. So if they make it to the NWA, they can say, hey, I had a shot at these belts. Now I can go for another shot at these belts because we're now, quote unquote, we moved up the ladder. We're in the big time. So it's, I'm glad the Lost is finally making steps to move up that ladder. But they do have some talented individuals, and we'll just see what becomes of them after this show's on Roku. That hopefully they keep winning, and they can do something with these individuals.
We've always talked about too many belts in the NWA. Anyway, I would send the national title, which is, in my solo opinion here, anyway, has been made worthless over the years by just I give up this title to take a shot at the world title. I think that's stupid. Yep. And I think it's devalued so many times in a row they did it. It's just worthless. I'd rather be TV champion than. I would send the national title, which is up next, down across the territories too. Match versus Muscle. Mike Mondo defeats Wrecking Ball Ligursky. I'm sure that was a big boy match. The United States Tag Team Championship, Jeremy. The Slime Balls defeat Pretty Boy Smooth and a subbing Cristiano Argento, who is subbing in for EC3, right? And I guess he was not ready for to wrestle that night. And I think they came to blows, that team, the Holy Grail, they're called afterwards. But I'm assuming in what I'm reading here is that the Slime Balls are your NWA United States Tag Team Champions for this. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Although were EC3 and 12 head the holders of them at the moment?
I honestly must beg forgiveness. I am ignorant on who the champs were going into this.
I was just going to say, if they were, it was probably an interesting sight to watch 12 head come out with the belts on his, both of them stacked on top of each other. Slime Balls, we talked about them before on whenever we reviewed, went back and watched NWA, or when we've seen them in some of the territory shows. They popped up in EC3's little gimmick, and they're a team that grew on me. They have something. They understand wrestling. They understand tag team wrestling a little more than some of the others in the business at the moment. I feel they're trying to get themselves over, but they're doing it the right way. I'm sure this was probably a good match. I give Pretty Boy Smooth shit, but he's a good wrestler. He's a good big man.
Not bad.
And I have no idea who the other guy was. So.
Me neither. I'm sure he ate the pin. The match I've heard the least about.
I would have made him.
Yeah. In a match I've probably heard the least about, Alex Hammerstone got a win over Trevor Murdoch. Big boys, big men, whatever they say.
Yeah.
Very good.
What did you say?
Roy good. Roy good.
Yeah, I'm going to move on. The War of the NWA Territories. I'm not even going to ask, but the Country Gentlemen defeated the Page Sisters. I'll let that one sink in. For those of us who don't know.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It would be unfair of us. It would be unfair of us to say anything more than what the fuck. New NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion Slade takes the title from Alex Taylor, who had a good run with the belt. Somehow the NWA Women's World Tag Team Championships were held up. I'm unclear how, but Allison Kay and Marty Bell challenged for the vacant titles with TVMA. That's Valentina Rossi and Tiffany Nieves. And now TVMA are two-time women's tag team champions, even though they were two-time. Even though they were the champions before they were held up. Nice to see Rich Swann on the card, Dave. wrestling, but coming up short against Brian Idol for the TV title. You're a Rich Swann guy, Dave?
Yes. I like how he does the flips and all, but he's not strictly a flippy dippy guy. He knows how to wrestle. And I mean, right now, I understand he's only on a per appearance wrestling, that he's not full time anywhere. So I'm glad that we're able to use him in the NWA. He's also doing TNA when they need him. He's also wrestling basically anywhere and everywhere. So I mean, he's getting out there. Plus, he's a known name. So if you beat him, you beat somebody who is a former champion. It may not be in the organization or promotion that you're in, but I mean, he's been in almost all the organizations and held belts there. So he's well traveled, and it's a good way to up the stock of a wrestler if they beat a former champion. So I understand what they're doing, but I'd maybe have him paired with the Pope. Both of them can talk. Both of them can wrestle. That maybe pair them up for 2026 Crockett Cup. But have him, if they're going to either put a belt on him or use him as a way to enhance NWA talent, he doesn't mind losing, and he doesn't lose, quote unquote, what he has.
Right.
He only loses the match. He doesn't actually lose the ability that he has. He just makes those around him look even better. So I'm glad that they are using him, but I would give him a couple wins here and there. It doesn't have to be for a championship, but keep him in game. So when he does face somebody higher up on the ladder, it's a good thing.
Agreed. The last three matches, the Immortals defend successfully the NWA World Tag Team titles against Blunt Force Trauma. And for our man Noob out there, I'm sure he knew this the day it happened, but the Natalia Markova, your NWA Women's World Champion, successfully defends the strap, or the Burke, excuse me, it's been a while, against the visiting Shotzi Blackheart, Jeremy, who's also become kind of a journeywoman in the indie scene since her departure from Big E.
She's been popping up everywhere, hasn't she? GCW, NWA. I think the only place I haven't seen her pop up yet is TNA, and I wouldn't be surprised if she pops up there soon. Honestly, I think that would be a great landing ground for her.
Yeah.
They're in desperate need of building and singles wrestlers for their women's division. So I think that would be a great landing spot for her. It's always good to see wrestlers get opportunities in places. Shotzi being one, Rich being another. So I like that NWA's getting some names. Let's just hope that they continue to be able to use them and use them properly.
Right. The Aaron Patrick. So I thought the Southern Six were the end. It's not showing for me. Is it showing up on the screen? There it is.
Yeah.
The NWA US Tag Team Champions. When did they lose? I don't know, because I don't remember that happening either. And look, we're not reviewing this show. We're just trying to run down the results and say this is what happened 10 days ago. So we don't, unfortunately, we don't know.
According to Roku, they're losing the belts in the future.
Oh my God!
In the future, it's not now, but sometime in the future. It's almost like quantum leap. Where are we going to land?
Okay, so I would like to utilize that as the segue into the next thing that we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
With
sure.
Vince Russo and the NWA, because according to who I'm going to say is leading the charge on the NWA social media account right now, or at least, you know, trying to make himself the visible face and PR person for the NWA, Brian Idol. Jesus Christ, dude, get the fuck off of social media, you fucking hack.
Tell us what you really think.
Fuck that guy.
The words and opinions of Jeremy Miller are not necessarily the opinions of AllianceCashWrestling.com. But
they're all
honestly, they are. They are shared. Man, that is the worst thing I've ever heard. You know, especially since we didn't understand the main event that we now no DQ match as Thrillbilly Silas Mason, who does come out as champion. Good. Defends against Matt Cardona, who earlier in the show attacks and wipes out Tom Latimer, who I believe takes a chair to Cardona after this match is over. But Mason does defeat Cardona to retain the world's heavyweight title. But to have the U.S. tag titles now, in the same boat as the world title. You know what this reminds me of? Like, you don't know who a champion is going into a show or leaving a show because it's TV, it's in the future, but that's in the past. That hasn't happened, but it will. It reminds me of fucking Spaceballs when they're like, we passed that just now. You know, when? We just missed it. When? Now.
Yep.
By the way, Spaceballs 2 coming 2027. The quest for more money. Or when you were a kid, if you were a comic collector, you're like, Spider-Man's fighting Juggernaut in New York. How does it end? You got to tune into Hulk number 127 and figure that one out. Oh, fuck yourself. I'm not doing that. It's just.
Or how about whenever they decided to make Spider-Man more convoluted by making a Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, spectacular and
spectacular Spider-Man. Yeah, just fucking Spider-Man, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, that was Samhain. 500 tickets. The reviews that I did see online, in their defense, said not bad. In terms of what the NWA has been offering. We don't know. Again, we weren't there. We'll talk about Brian Idol like a little further right now, if we can. Let's talk about Vince Russo. So listen, bro. The word got out a few days ago, or we all thought it did, that Vince Russo was writing for the NWA, and I am not interested enough, or I'm not a journalist to go in and try to figure out the exact timeline, but it's something like Meltzer said that's what it was. Shortly after Russo made an innocuous comment, then there were other sources that came in that said it was the NWA, and then Russo came out and said, don't listen to the internet spin. I'm now the investor in Juggalo Championship Wrestling, which he then appeared on as, you know, the investor, and how he believes that that product is, of course, the greatest product. Good for him. He should say that if he works there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the internet got into enough of an uproar that, you know, Brian Idle chimed in about how much he loves the NWA and will defend this product to the end. And oh, that's Jay. That's not the short, Jay. Or maybe it is. Alliance-wrestling.com/Pornhub. No, what if, I'll get to that. Would it have been good or bad, or both or neither, Dave? I'll go to you first. I'll ask you guys both of this question. If he had been signed by Billy to write Billy, what do you think?
Well, it would explain all the weird shit going on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everybody can talk crap about him. When he had some good ideas, they were very good. But when he had bad ideas, they were very bad. And there almost didn't seem to be anything in the middle. So if you can get some good ideas out of him and then have Billy or somebody within the NWA basically take those ideas and adjust them, it could have worked. If you have some good ideas, but who knows what Billy considers good? He's in his own little world, and more power to him. But I mean, I've watched some of Vinnie Ru's stuff, and I mean, he talks crap on everything. It's all subjective. It's basically your own opinion. There's some things that happened back in the 80s and 90s in wrestling that made lots and lots of money, but you can't do them nowadays. So it's all subjective. It's one of these things of almost let's throw it against the wall and see what sticks. If you find something that works, run it into the ground until people are sick of it, and then move on, or find a different way to present that. And I mean, it's just one of these things that getting to bitch no matter what, just because it is a certain person. Oh, it's Vince Russo saying this, or he wrote this. This is bad stuff. Well, who knows? You don't know it's a bad idea until you try it.
Yeah, I don't think it's unlikely that he never had a good idea in pro wrestling. You can't have the level of success even if you're going and, you know, backbiting like allegedly he had done for different years against different people and trying to win favor from different bosses. You can't be successful if you didn't do something successful. But I think that Jeremy's on the fence about Vince Russo. Was it good or bad? Would it have been good or bad, Jeremy?
So I want to come at this from look at this at a couple of different angles. It would have been good for the NWA because it would have been the most publicity that they've gotten since the cocaine style win.
Right.
Because as far as Dave Meltzer was concerned, they're still on the CW app or on YouTube now because they're off of CW app. So he didn't even know that they had a Roku deal, which is a huge TV deal. My ass. But back to what you were saying with Vince and having success, he was he was a big part of the TNA Attitude Era of WWE. That was one of their most successful periods up until lately, as far as television went and viewership, because he, on a purely mature level, completely identified with that 14 to 25 crowd that wanted to see that Jerry Springer style crash TV of the time. Um, was it good for television? It was good for wrestling, but only in the short term. After that, to me, anyways, he's proven time and time again that that was his peak of creativity, and that's all that he really has.
Right.
Even hearing the story about what he's taught, what the 9 episodes that he had written up, there were going to be drug tests and a callback to the Me Too movement and shit. And it's like, seriously, bro, grow the fuck up, man. We're not 27 anymore, you know?
Right. It's would it follow up to you, Jeremy? Would it have been good, or is it good rather, for JCP or JCW or Juggalos?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That kind of just chaotic, not really knowing what's going to happen next, the more outrageous the better, completely encapsulates that subculture of the Juggalos. They fucking the gathering of the Juggalos, their little yearly Woodstock type WrestleMania big hullabaloo thing, is organized chaos at its best, at its best display. You know, this is an event that they planned from the day that it ends till the day that the next one starts, and everything that happens in between there at the gathering. I'm not a juggalo, but I've seen the videos on like YouTube and stuff, people going to check it out and stuff. That's fucking wild, bro.
Yeah.
So he is a perfect fit for them, and I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised it's taken them this long.
Right, and the Juggalos I've been reading online today, yesterday, ecstatic, like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
One guy said something, just a common fan on a board, you know. He wrote, and with that, meaning with the signing of Vince Russo, every lapsed wrestling fan who, you know, hasn't picked up the wrestling program on TV in the last 25 years, you know, is now looking at JCP. And
one of us.
Yeah.
One of us.
I think that's a bit far, but I think if you're reading and you go, oh shit, that guy who gave himself the WCW world title and told Hogan to lay down for Nash or whatever, the other, I don't remember now, Jarrett, you know, to lay down for Hogan, and then he fired. That was more than a train wreck. That was just stupidity. And like for that, I don't care what good idea he has. Like I would never want him around any promotion I was watching. But JCW might be the promotion that he fits in the best with. Like Dave, what if it's a swerve? I said to you earlier. What if this is a swerve? What if it's like, nah, he was here in the NWA the whole time, bro, and now he's the national champion. And I mean, I don't know. Are you okay if he ended up working with William Patrick Corgan and the staff of the NWA on some storywriting?
Well, I mean, it'd be something definitely different, and who knows what could have happened or what could happen Because don't forget, ICP has been involved with the NWA.
Right.
So basically, I mean, it's almost like kissing cousins. It's, hey, if he does good over here, maybe let's have him be a quote unquote consultant. Here's what we have planned. What would you possibly do? What would you do in this instance? If we do this storyline, how would you end it? How would you make this storyline the main thing? So, I mean, who knows? I mean, Billy has money. He can always be like, hey, here's some green. Give me your thoughts on this.
Right.
And if we use some of it, there may be more money coming your way. So who knows? I mean, Vinnie Ru has been involved with what, TNA, WCW, and WWE, WWF, whatever it was back then. I think WWE had changed, but so was ICP. And I'm not sure of the actual, if they were all there at the same time or at different times. But think about it. I mean, Billy's been involved with TNA. He has friends that are and were in WWE and WCW. Everybody knows everybody. So it's one of these things that if it does happen down the line, we'll see what happens. Who knows?
I kind of wonder what it means if Billy Corgan is the guy who has to tell Vince Russo to settle down.
Yeah.
I think Jeremy's looking up something about ICP right now.
ICP and Vinnie Russo were in WCW at the same time. 99 to 2000.
Were they doing stuff with Vampiro then as well?
Yep.
Yeah. He was their foot in the door, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Love that guy.
Yeah. All right, well, that was the Vinnie Russo blip in the radar for the 2025. And, nice work if you can get it, Mr. Russo. Enjoy Juggalo Championship Wrestling. And, hope he does well. Let's leave it at that. What's going on in the world of TNA right now? Jeremy, get your banner up here. I'll figure out the videos at some point. Jay will teach me.
So we had the Bound for Glory on the 12th from beautiful Lowell, Massachusetts.
You sound like a baseball announcer for Buck Martinez from the Jays. That looks like a fastball right down the middle, Johnny.
Is that who that was?
Well,
I always thought it was.
Yeah.
I always thought it was Harry Carey.
Yeah, that was Harry Carey originally, for sure. Yeah, that's a big voice right there. Yeah.
So in the pre-show, we saw the Inspiration defeat the Elegance brand and retain the titles. Then we got to see Frankie Kazarian defend against Steve Macklin and lose. Steve Macklin has regained the TNA International Championship back. Whenever he came out, he had friends and family in the crowd and was flanked on both sides by Marine Color Guard. So a big night for him. We then saw Gia Miller face off against Tessa Blanchard. Really good match there. Gia came out there and was quite impressive looking. In the end, though, the Diamond Standard won. And no one was surprised by that, but I think they went for about 8 or 9 minutes or so. in the match. I think they got like 12 minutes or so. They wrestled for a good portion of it.
How's if I can interrupt, because I just want to know, how's Tessa Blanchard been doing in the last year or so since her return? Not good.
She's a racist. She's a racist.
Is that what they shout still?
It is becoming a lot less, but yeah, they're still there.
Okay.
She she has a long road ahead of her. I feel. I don't know. We then got a 22-person call your shot gauntlet battle royal. The winner got a trophy and a contract that he can invoke anytime within 1 year for a championship of their choosing. And the winner was Nick Kazarian. I mean, Frankie Nemeth. I mean, Nick Nemeth and Frankie Kazarian. Yeah. That's the look that the crowd had.
Double pin?
That's the look that the crowd had. Yeah, that was their big fumble of the night. That the crowd was not happy with that at all. I don't know if they were not happy because it was two winners or because of who the two winners are. I'm kind of leaning towards it, maybe kind of both.
Column A, column B, yeah.
Yeah. But it was a cornucopia of talent in the ring. You had Li Ying, you had Mars Sade, the other Nemeth. Cedric Alexander was involved in it. Rich Swann was in it. You had the Rascals. All three of them were there. Danny Luna was in it. EY was in it. Jake Something was in it. They got to do something with something.
They do.
Man.
They got to, yeah.
They got to. Old Manser was in it. Even Santino got involved. Love that guy.
Yeah, man.
Fucking love that guy. We then got to see the TNA Knockouts World Championship and Kalani Jordan and Indy Hartwell. Kalani retained on that. Good, solid match. I'm thinking that Indy will probably get the title sooner rather than later. But a good showing by him. Kalani's a hell of a fucking talent. She's an NXT talent though, and I really want to see the belts go back to TNA talent, and then TNA talent gets some NXT, some WWE gold.
Right.
Which we do have at the moment with the Hardy Boys, which I'll get to in a moment. We then had the hardcore war between the System and Mustafa Ali's Order 4. The System was victorious in that via pinfall. We then had the match of the night for me. The TNA X Division Championship match between Leon Slater and NXT's Javon Evans. And if you haven't seen it, I believe there are clips of it on YouTube. Go look it up. These two fuckers. It's just two of the youngest talents in NXT, WWE, and TNA at the moment, and two of the brightest stars as far as I'm concerned. These two are definitely the future of wrestling. I was talking earlier about having firm grasps on wrestling and going in and knowing what to do with the slime balls. Leon Slater and Javon Evans are two more young individuals that just get it and understand wrestling. Fantastic match. Came to a draw. No contest.
Oh.
They ran out of time.
That's all right.
We then got,
yeah.
Yeah, it was a fantastic match. We then got the one final table match between the Dudleys and the Hardys. And this was for the TNA World Tag Team Champions and the NXT Tag Team Championships. The Hardys retained in this. A lot better match than what I thought it was going to be. The only downside to it was it was a tag team elimination match. So as soon as one team had an individual go through the table, that individual was eliminated. But that kind of just got thrown out the window somehow. Wasn't adhered to. But overall, still a really good match. A lot better than what I was anticipating from them. And then we ended with the TNA World Championship match between Mike Santana and the defending champion NXT's Trick Williams. And thanks the gods above that Mike Santana walked out as your new TNA World Champion.
Really?
And the crowd went crazy. Long time coming for him since he's came back to TNA. He's been in the title hunt, and they've stretched it out and quite well, actually, in my opinion, as far as they made his chase for it interesting. He got it. He got the opportunity as soon as he got there. Essentially, didn't get it, and then got sidetracked with other things going on and other wrestlers, and then but never lost sight of the gold, and always, I'm taking care of you, and then I'm going to the gold again. So he kept the crowd invested in him and letting them know that this is what I'm going after. This is what I'm here for. And he finally got that. Like I said, the crowd went nuts. They had, let's see, the Bound for Glory attendance. They set records.
Did they?
Yes. So they were at they set a new North American attendance record for TNA Wrestling. They were at the Songa Center in beautiful Lowell, Massachusetts, and they had an attendance of 7,794.
Wow.
For a company that was considered by a lot, 2 years ago?
Yep.
To be on life support and to see what they're doing, they're capable of now. It's exciting. Say what you will about WWE. Could they possibly be buying TNA down the road? I wouldn't be surprised. In the same instance, I don't see what it gets them either. I don't see, other than the library, which they don't even own their library anymore. They're leasing that out. So, I don't see the value beyond that of them absorbing yet another company, unless they're looking at making it a Great White North affiliate of sorts and really being world wrestling, because then they would have NXT could be their North American, their United States show. You've got AAA would be their Mexico show. TNA could be their Great White North show. And then the WWE would be their world traveling show. Because as we've seen, that an international crowd loves whenever the WWE comes into town.
Yeah.
I've heard this before, and I mean, look, I like the concept. As a Canadian, I don't speak for I don't speak for anyone other than myself up here. I don't consider TNA to be Canadian. I know that Anthem's Canadian,
right?
But this was in Lowell, Massachusetts, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really Canadian programming. I don't think it would go. You know, that's our company at all. But if you rebranded it as that, I'm all in.
Yeah. But I don't see them getting involved in this year's Survivor Series. They're already laying the groundwork for what and who all is going to be involved in that, and it's not TNA is not included in that at the moment. This is a 5-year partnership deal with them. They're not even a full year into it yet. So next year possibly. But I do foresee more things to come, bigger things with TNA, with WWE's involvement there. And I feel that come Royal Rumble time, you'll probably see quite a few TNA individuals and talent involved in the men's and women's side. And I'm hoping to see more involvement from main. It doesn't even have to be, mid card. It could be lower card, but lower card main roster guys on TNA from WWE.
Yep.
In the next year. So that to me would be the next logical step in getting them there. So
the really cool thing about this collaboration between the two companies for me is that as bad as the WCW invasion went thereafter, and for all the contract reasons and people weren't gonna come out, none of the big guns were coming over, is that I remember vividly watching Shane out on Nitro and and Vince on the big screen. I can remember standing up in my living room in 1999. I was a grown adult in 1999. Going, holy shit! I'm watching wrestling history. And even if you go, okay, this is what it is for WWE and or NXT, whatever you want to call it, and the TKO and Anthem, or in this collaboration with TNA, this is wrestling history. This is, if you want to talk Forbidden Door, this is real Forbidden Door shit, and it's that door down in ways nobody else has up till now, and it's worth investing your time in. I think to have that moment where you stand in your living room.
That makes me wonder if you go back into like the wrestling chat rooms of the early aughts, and you look and what TK's screen names were in those. If maybe he coined the term Forbidden Door whenever that happened.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, we look forward to more. Hey, you know the Colorado River in the Grand Canyon? That's
is it?
Yeah, that's Tyrus's personal bathtub.
I thought that smell was coming from all the donkey shit.
What are those donkeys doing down there? Like a German Scheisse video.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Apologies to all of our German viewers out there. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for your report. Let's go to our fantasy booking segment to close up the show. If that's not the thing I wanted at all. This is the one. Whenever I screw up, I wanna be like, we'll be right back. Where is the thing? Anyway, it is a segment we call it Respect You Booker Man with Dave Scooby, our fantasy booker who hypothesizes different ways to improve pro wrestling, amongst other things. His what ifs, he does all kinds of cool stuff. Dave, today we want to talk about the sweet spot for the number of matches in a signature live event, in a pay-per-view, in a whatever, a PLE. Is there a number? Do you think there's a perfect number, or what? What do you got for us this week?
Well, you have to look at quality over quantity sometimes, depending on what promotion you're looking at, and finding that sweet spot. That how many matches should there be on a PLE, SLE, or a pay-per-view? Now, there's arguments like right now, WWE is doing fewer matches, 5 to 6 matches, and they can focus on the quality of a match. But you're also having matches that are 25, 30 minutes long in time, but the actual match is only 10 minutes. So you're having an extended entrance for each of your performers, and then it's sometimes taking away. I mean,
Right.
You can build better stories. It allows more time for each match, and it doesn't feel as rushed. But you got to do something better. I mean, right now WWE, when they have a 2-night event, have maybe 7 to 10 to highlight all your talent. Wow, Willie went there, didn't he? Wow.
We really did.
Wow.
I can't put that up, really.
Yeah, I just saw that. Okay. Thank you, Willie. Get me all hot and bothered. Like I said, sometimes less is more. This approach can prevent audience from having fatigue. And I mean, AEW does great pay-per-views, but they just last forever. Plus, they have a pre-show. You're talking 4.5 to 5.5 hours total. So, I mean,
yeah, it's brutal.
Less is more. Sometimes you can ensure having your prominent matches and having a good main event, and then having that spotlight with fewer matches. The more significant championship bouts and story arcs can be given more focus. Me, I'd like to think maybe 7 to 10 would be your best bet.
Yeah.
That way you can showcase more of the roster, have a few more matches. It doesn't have to be tons and tons, but maybe one more tag match adds 3 to 4 more people in that in that match. So it's one of those things that it's one of these things that everybody's not on the back burner.
Right.
That they don't have to be the main event, but they're still part of the show. Plus, it gives variety. I mean, like I said, you can have tag teams, trios matches, even a battle royal if need be. If there's a match later in the night, or a match if you're having a 2-day event, if there's a match the second day, you can have a battle royal or something that they win the first night to move on to the second night. So it's one of these things that with a few more matches, you get more value for your money. And I mean, if it's only held a few times a year, like, I mean, the NWA has basically 4 signature live events. Mm-hmm. And the reason they have so many matches is because they use those for their TV. So that's one thing you have to look at. If you're using it for your television program, sure, stack it up. But I mean, Tim, you and I have been to NWA events. After about 3 hours, I'm drained.
Yeah.
It's good to have a lot of matches, but sometimes there has to be a breaking point that you're just like, okay, hey, we need to set limits. If you have a pre-show, I understand that. Move some of these to the pre-shows and take these matches that if you're finishing up a storyline, put it on there. If you're just starting a storyline, use that at your next taping or at your TV taping within the next couple weeks. Now, many fans and analysts suggest that a range of 7 to 9 matches is actually the ideal sweet spot, maybe 10. I'd say that's what I'm looking at. No more than a 3-hour show. Plus, it also depends on how big of an event it is. I mean, if you're doing a WrestleMania, you can have 20 matches, but limit it to 10 a night, but make them something. That means you don't always have to have a 5 to 7 minute intro, and then somebody wins the match and they're in the ring celebrating for 5 to 10 minutes. They can celebrate for a minute, and then you can keep the show going. It's one of these things that there ideally isn't a perfect number or an ideal number. It's subjective to what the goal and the expectations are of that promotion and the people watching them.
Right.
And like I said, the NWA, their signature live matches, they use them for Roku, so 12 plus matches equal 4 to 5 weeks of TV.
Right.
That means something. An AEW pay-per-view is usually 15 plus matches, and that's the pre-show included. You're getting more bang for your buck, and that's like $50 a head. Right. If you're buying that pay-per-view, you're getting your money's worth, but they're still going 4.5, 5.5 hours. You have to ideally look at it and go, in reality, how much are you willing to spend and watch? And then they have to make it make sense when they have their next TV event. They need to go back, and I mean, if you have a 2-hour show like Dynamite, they could spend a full hour recapping what just happened, even if they're doing 5 minutes per match or 3 minutes per match. You have 15 matches, that's 45 minutes plus all the breaks. That's an hour's time right there. Right. So it's finding the sweet spot. And I mean, it's one of these things that WWE, they've knocked it down to 5 or 6, unless it's a 2-night event like WrestleMania or SummerSlam. But they only highlight the big stories. So it's one of these things that sometimes less is more. My sweet spot would be, let's have 10 matches, but make them make sense. That if you have a pre-show, make sure that those events, that the matches in the pre-show correspond with something happening later in that event. That if you're going to have a pre-show on YouTube for AEW, that they have maybe 2 or 3 matches, 30 minutes to 45 minutes at most, but at least 1 or 2 of those matches move the storyline along for something that takes place later in that pay-per-view. So that's when you have a battle royal or a tag match or a trios match, that the winner of those matches get involved with the storyline of that pay-per-view.
Right.
So ideally, in my eyes, 9 to 10 matches, depending on length. I think everybody wins. That your median would be 9 matches, maybe 10, if it makes sense. But anything more than 3.5 hours, I'm old. I don't have time to watch all that.
Yeah, me neither. And that's my thing with AEW specifically, trying to stretch out to somehow they think they'll cover a WWE pay-per-view and grab some of those buys by going to 7 hours or whatever the hell it is. Yeah. Including their dark match pre-show. Like, are you kidding me? I'm not gonna watch any of that.
Oh, I know.
It's like watching 4 days of golf and then Anyway, no, I get it, man. I think you're right. I think 7 to 10, if they're short 7 to 12, I think it's bang on. And it's all like you got to get it done in 3.5 hours for me. It's got to be over.
Yeah,
that's a Lord of the Rings episode, man. Like or feature film. I'll sit for it if it's really, really good. But beyond that, yeah. I appreciate it, Dave. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Listen, I think that's it, guys. Where can they find you on the social media, Jeremy?
You can find me over on Facebook at Jeremy Miller. I have one of those blue sky ones, but I'm never on there. Let's just be honest.
Yeah. How about you, Dave?
You can find me at Dave Scooby over on X and Instagram. I'm on Blue Sky sometimes. But if you have any ideas for some fantasy booking, hit me up. Either that or in the Discord. All the info is right underneath, scrolling along. So feel free to join us and become part of the Alliance family.
Yes, thank you for advertising that. There is, like, the Discord specifically, everybody that we talk about or talk to is in that Discord. It's so busy. I can't keep up. There's so many different
4-7.
Yeah. And there's so many different channels in there to talk all the stuff you want to talk about. Most importantly, alliance-wrestling.com. Your number one source for news and information for the National Wrestling Alliance, various other independents around the world, and all of the different socials at the Alliance blog. Please help us continue to grow. Last time I checked, it was like 7,000 on YouTube. I thought that was great. I don't know if our outro is going to work or not, but if it isn't, we can all have a good laugh at my expense for not being able to press the button correctly. Let's give it a shot. Until next time, we'll see you at the matches. It didn't work.
Fuck you, Brian Idol.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
How do I stop the stream? I need a big hook. A big hook just to...
Fucking Showtime at the Apollo.